And if you're a first-time listener, welcome to the show. I'm a baby boomer. I'll be 69 in June. And I'm one of the about 74, 75 million Americans out there who call ourselves baby boomers. And it's this time in our life when we start to experience health problems. But I'm telling you, there's hope. There's hope in food and hope in fitness. And unfortunately, most of us don't get the information that I share disseminated to them through mainstream media. Because it's not politically correct to be a proponent of what I talk about all the time. I'm an anti-carb eater. High carb. I'm an anti-high carb eater. You can call it keto. Many people do. I was keto before keto. But there's all kinds of research coming out. It's incredible what I'm reading. And I've got stuff right in front of me. I mean, I get overwhelmed by the amount of information. We have 122 million plus Americans with high blood pressure over the age of 20. 102 million plus Americans with high cholesterol or more. 136 million that are diabetic or pre-diabetic, and over 100 million with neurological disorders. Do you realize what helps them? All the research out there? It's extremely exciting. Low-carb dieting. Keto. It's incredible. Right in front of me. This is from the National Library of Medicine. Just out a couple months ago. Ketogenic diet and cardiovascular disease. Now listen to this real carefully. The most common and increasing cause of death worldwide are cardiovascular diseases. Taking into account the fact that diet is a key factor, it is worth exploring this aspect of cardiovascular disease prevention and therapy. The aim of this article is to assess the potential of a ketogenic, low-carb diet in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. The article is comprehensive, meticulous analysis of the literature in this area, taking into account the most recent studies currently available. The low-carb ketogenic diet has been shown to have a multifaceted effect on the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Among other aspects, it has a beneficial effect on blood lipid profile, even compared to other diets. It shows strong anti-inflammatory and cardioprotective potential, which is due, among other factors, to the anti-inflammatory properties of the state of ketosis, the elimination of simple sugars, the restriction of total carbohydrates, and the supply of omega-3 fatty acids. In addition, ketone bodies provide, now listen to me, rescue fuel for the heart by affecting its metabolism. They also have beneficial effect on the function of vascular endothelium, including improving its function and inhibiting premature aging. You got that? Slows the aging down. The ketogenic diet has a beneficial effect on blood pressure and other cardiovascular risk factors among other aspects, weight loss. The evidence cited is often superior to that for standard diets, making it likely that the ketogenic diet, low carb, shows advantages over other dietary models in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. This is a legitimate need for further research in the area. Now, let me go to the bottom, the conclusion of this whole study, because this is long. All the way to the bottom. Here we go. Conclusions. Be patient, please. I'm going to get there. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're on top of it. This is so this is what happens when you have live radio, okay? So summarizing extensive research, the ketogenic diet is a promising nutritional model in the context of cardiovascular disease and prevention and therapy. Through its pleiotropic properties, it is able to influence the cardiovascular system on multiple levels. This is the conclusion of the study, by the way. Scientific evidence mostly confirms it's beneficial, even more beneficial compared to other diets. Effect on lipid profile. However, there's lack of strong evidence on the cardiovascular risk for dyslipidemia due to the ketogenic diet. A potential advantage of the ketogenic diet is a strong anti-inflammatory effect that interacts with the cardioprotective properties. In addition, taking into account that cardiovascular diseases are a major and increasing cause of death worldwide, it will be the utmost importance to meticulously analyze and review the current management and knowledge in this area. The current scientific evidence on the impact of a ketogenic diet and prevention and therapy is optimistic. Taking this into consideration, there is a legitimate need for further scientific research on the relationship between keto diet, low carb, and cardiovascular disease. This could contribute to improving health and reducing the risk of death among many millions of people worldwide. We are not getting this information. Why? It doesn't stimulate the commodities market. It's not politically correct because they're pushing us in a direction of becoming vegetarians. You don't want to eat meat. Bad for you. You got to eat all kinds of grains and be a vegetarian. This is contrary to what they're telling. No wonder we have so many people in this country that are fat and obese. No wonder we have so many people in this country that have high blood pressure. No wonder we have so many people in this country that are diabetics. You talk about an epidemic, that is it. And who benefits from this? I mean, I'm getting excited now. I'm trying to calm down. The guys who, big pharma and food companies, they're the ones who benefit from it. They're also doing extensive research right now in cancer in this way of eating. And it's exciting what they're showing from it. I don't like to bring this up. You know, I don't like to talk about it because I get choked up by this. My brother-in-law, who's coming out to see us here in a couple of weeks, in 2021 was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, metastasized. My wife was a wreck. So I got on my knees and I prayed to God to give me knowledge. How can I help him? He's her only sibling. So anyhow, he calls me up and asks, Lance, what do I do? I said, well, Chuck, you know, you need to sit down with Brenda and Ashley. That's his daughter. You need to talk about this. I said, I can't make this decision. I can help you with your diet and everything, what's needed to be done. So I prayed to God to guide me. I'm not making this up. So we got him on a low-carb diet because all the research I was reading, low-carb, because cancer cells live off of carbs, sugar. That's what the PET scan's based on. And we got him on that. We got him alkaline because cancer cells live in an acidic environment, which also mutates the other cells around them, causing more cancer to grow. Well, his main tumor was from hip to hip. It was that large. And we got him on the diet. And he, of course, then the doctor elected to do chemotherapy and whatnot, which is, I understand that. But when he's going through this treatment on this diet, he actually looked like he was going to a health spa. I'm serious. I'm not making this up. He was diligent. He stuck on the diet. Went through the chemo treatment. Okay. My wife went there basically because, bone marrow possibly transplant. She didn't match up. And in a 6-month period of time, the tumor wasn't really shrinking. No, this is the truth now. I haven't told this in a long time. And so she flew out there, that's when she did the bone marrow match and didn't match. And they called me on the telephone and told me that, it didn't get any smaller. And I went to church. And I'm coming back from church and I hear a voice say to me, tell him to go back in. And have another PET scan. That the cancer's gone. I am serious now. I'm not making this up. Have another PET scan. The cancer's gone. I heard a voice, a real voice. So I get home and I call my wife on the phone and said, honey, you need to tell Chuck to go have another PET scan. The cancer's gone. I've told her what happened. They got a hold of the doctor. The doctor said, I can't see anything wrong with it. We can do it. This is in 3 days now. Remember, tumor's hip to hip. Goes in, has a PET scan. I'm coming home from work, training people like I do today, you know. And I get the phone call, and I answer the phone, and she's crying. I go, what's wrong? We just got back from the doctor's office. She came out in a waiting area to get Chuck and I and Brenda and bring us in to show us the PET scan. Doctor broke down crying. She said, never in my life have I ever seen anything like this. The cancer was completely gone. That's a miracle. That was 23 years ago. So what I'm telling you is the knowledge that we acquire, take this into your heart. Now, I'm not promising any cures, you know, anything like that. I'm just telling you, you can make life better for yourself if you're doing the right things to let the body heal itself. And the information I'm reading about this approach to eating is incredible. That's why I've been a proponent of this for so long. So, I mean, I could talk about this all day, and I won't do this, and I have a hard time discussing this. Again, this is the first time I've mentioned this in a long time, but I figure you needed to hear this. Anyhow, this is the Good Life with Lance. I'm going to take a break. I've got to, you know, get my thing together here.